Hey, what's up, everybody? How's everyone doing? Hope everyone's doing all right. It's Rich again. I got to apologize first for not posting in a while. Was actually got a couple of these tutorials that I got to post. I'm going to try and finish them up. As you know, I don't really post very often, so you don't get a lot of, junk just attempting to, get hits. But I figured I wanted to do an unboxing kind of thing, assembly. Really nothing too crazy. It was pretty simple, straightforward. Portland electric pole saw from Harbor Freight. I got the model number 56808. They have a few different SKUs for the same item, pretty much. Came well packed. The box is kind of long because, obviously it's a pole saw. So it's partially assembled. Everything's included in the box that you need, except the oil, the bar and chain oil. That's pretty important, but you got to pick that up yourself. The instructions, the hex/screwdriver tool, and it's well made, I would say. I've already used it several times. I was kind of impressed at the quality, I'd say, for the price. These things go on sale from time to time, and I was waiting for my opportunity to pick one up because I really had a need to really trim back and do some cleaning up around my yard. Some neighbors' trees and bushes, overgrowth. So that's what I did. I hope you enjoy this. Like I said, it's not going to be anything too crazy, but if you saw this product and you were thinking of getting one, I think this might help to convince you one way or the other. You can see here the chain comes in a bag within another bag. The tool to tighten up the chain, the actual rail, the guide rail that keeps the chain on and in place, and a protective covering for the rail. I'd say the instructions were pretty clear, and the pictures on the bags make sense. All in all, I'd say pretty good. One thing I couldn't find where I saw it, I looked through the instruction manual, but I know I read it somewhere, was you'll see there's a part where I have the chain. I soaked it in oil overnight. I used a little Chinese food container lid. It was actually the clear plastic lid that you would get on like takeout. A little bit of oil in the lid, and let the chain soak in that lid overnight. I know I read it. I know I saw it somewhere, but I just couldn't find where. And well lubricated chain is definitely extremely important. Here's the chain, and it's extremely sharp. I was really surprised about that as well. And you could see it's Oregon chain. It's a good name. So I thought all in all this was a real quality item. You're going to see in the instruction manual there'll be a part where it tells you, it shows you a picture of the chain and which way the rotation is. Here's the Chinese container top, the lid. I just put a real shallow bit of oil. It's really just enough to soak the entire thickness of the chain, which is not too thick. And I let that soak overnight, and it worked out great. I mean, chain, when I first used it, was sharp as anything, went through some branches like butter. So I would definitely recommend this if you have, you're going to be putting it together one day, the day before. If you open it up, grab the chain, let it soak overnight. So first thing they tell you to do, you use the tool that's included, the hex wrench, and this is the sprocket clamp. So that, keeps everything in place. You want to remove that end cap. That's what I'm doing now. And, always keep your workplace clean and try not to lose anything. The cleaner and more organized you are, the better. So as you can see here, I'm just going to show you kind of how the rail, the guide rail kind of lays on the saw. You know, there's a notch, and it kind of rides in that notch. That's actually how the blade winds up getting adjusted. But as you could see, brand new, that tensioning peg, you could see when it's seated just like that, you hear it click. That's tight. That's adjusted all the way out. So most likely you're gonna have to do the same as I did. If you see it sitting there on the sprocket and it's not catching the peg, that tensioning peg is gonna have to be adjusted, I guess tightened up, so that it moves closer to the sprocket, or else you never get it assembled properly. So that's what I did. This is the tensioner here. You can see how far out it is. So once I got that adjusted, everything lined up. So now you pick up the, you see that the tension pin is all the way back. You can pick up the guide rail with the chain on it, and it fits right on. Now from here, you know, you can actually adjust it, and you can see how it works, how it moves, and applies tension to the chain. So here you can see the part of the assembly manual. That's first page for the saw chain assembly. This is right out of the book. This is the book, and that's what I followed to get this together. They actually show you here what I was talking about. On the page, you could see the tension that, or the adjustment, how much gap, 2 to 4 millimeter of gap in the chain. There's also a nice little picture of the link, the cutting link, and the shape of it, and that's how you know for sure you have the chain properly installed and the rotation going the right way. So you check the gap, you should measure, you pull out on the chain, see if it looks like the proper distance between the chain and the guide bar. Once the tension is set properly, you're just simply going to install the cover on. That's holding the whole thing together. So you 2 to 4 millimeter on the gap or the tension, and install the cover, and then you're ready to proceed with the oil. So we got the chain tensioned, the end cap or the sprocket cover or whatever is back on. I clean it up a bit, and this warning or label here is just telling you, make sure you don't forget bar and chain oil, or if you don't have that, unused SAE 30 motor oil in a pinch, or if that's all you got. So I dumped that oil, you know, made use of it instead of getting rid of it, into the oil reservoir. That oil is what's lubricating the chain. So it has a minimum oil line. You definitely want to fill it up, but not overfill it. And once you do that, you're just about ready for the fun to begin. So real simple. Was it a couple of steps, 2-3 steps? So this cap has this nylon tether attached to it, and the other side is sort of larger than the opening. To hold the cap in place, I guess comes in hand, you know, just how many times you lose something that it's so ridiculous, cheap, seemingly insignificant, or really something that, you know, is so minute, but yet needed and necessary, and you have to either buy a new one, but stops your day. It says clean up everything. You know, obviously clean tool is safer tool, and it came with the cover for the saw chain, and so I definitely recommend using that, both for the protection of the chain and yourself. It was really sharp. So you're going to want to probably keep that on when it's not being used, at all times. And that's it. That's really it for the assembly. Obviously, read all the cautionary warnings and everything. I usually read a manual cover to cover, and I would recommend the same. You'll learn a lot, and there's a lot of important information in there. It's definitely worth taking the time before using any power tool that has the potential to do serious harm. The plug came with sort of a safety covering the prongs, so that little plastic piece, I guess simply to keep it from being bent, which was nice. Yeah, they actually went into detail on the gauge of the cord that you're using and the distance that the cord is running. So that matters with electric tools. So definitely read through all of that. They even showed how you should connect the extension cord to the power cord on the tool, put a knot in it, and then route it through the tool handle and onto this lock. They call it a cable lock, but it's really just a little hook part inside the handle that you could hook the loop on. And on the handle you also got the button, safety button there. Your thumb has to be pressing that button in, and then with the rest of your fingers, your hand, you squeeze to operate the saw. I just wanted to show, I had some overgrowth coming over from the neighbor's yard, quite a bit. So I just figured I'd show you, what this saw can do. And I didn't push it to its limits, but this is I think a tool that for the price is sort of invaluable. It saves a lot of time and effort, and you're doing stuff from the ground. You can see here it works great. This is one of my favorite tools right now for keeping the yard clean, and I got a lot more stuff I've already eyed that I can't wait to kind of use it on. But the winter came up pretty fast, so this is my first time using it. For the first time, I was pleasantly surprised. It definitely did the job, and I couldn't ask for more for the price. So here's that cable lock, they call it. That's simple. This is not recommended, obviously. Recipe for disaster. Power lines going through tree branches, but definitely was not going up on a ladder with a chainsaw. So, although not recommended, this is a perfect example of the value in this tool. So I don't get paid for this video, but I highly recommend this pole saw from Harbor Freight. It's on sale currently for Black Friday, Thanksgiving, Cyber Week. And you should probably go and pick one up if you have some overgrowth or overhang. Thanks again for watching. As always, don't forget to comment, like, or pound that subscribe button.